there was some clips for the current version of ethereal knives. This is spec 3. If you want to see spec 2 and 1, I'll have a link in the description. This one is geared towards mapping. I'll go over the full setup and mechanics and intro to the build in the POB section. Check the timestamps if you want to skip straight to that. Going to be timestamps for this current section. This is the tier 16.5 juiced. There'll be a simulacrum wave 15. And there will be a very short overview of some changes to the mercenary. That's going to be all for the intro. As always, thanks for watching.
Exile! You get to unravel this.
Turn around. I won't. Well? Try me, fool! Fine, just take it already.
Every incursion.
Ready to revisit the past.
I will not be made a fool.
My innocence be broken!
Hey, here's the mercenary. Same dude from spec 1 and 2 with a little bit of different gear. Amulet. This gear is not like ideal. I'm just gonna go over the piece that should be equipped. Garb of ephemeral. This is super useful for that nearby allies action speed cannot be modified below base value, and nearby enemies cannot deal critical strikes. Everything else is it's about the same. But yeah, ideally we have the hatred mercenary I talked about in the notes. Once I get that, I will go over the gear for that one and have an update. Alright, we got spec 3 POB for our ethereal knives character. This is honestly more of a Golemxodia explode build than ethereal knives. Ethereal knives is just the applicator, so yeah, feel free to plug in whatever physical spell you want. If you can kill a mob, then the chain reactions will kill everything else. But yeah, so in this note section, I got some overview, key differences from spec 2. This setup is geared for clearing juiced content with lots of rare mobs. Do not try and boss with this. I specifically designed this for clearing, as this says, and like simulacrum and stuff like that. It's very good at that. It's pretty tanky and it does a ton of damage with the explodes. Yeah, as this says, explodes is most of the damage. If you want the details on it, there it is, on why they're doing so much damage. And then for the mercenary, mercenary in the video is not ideal. It's the same one we had from spec 1 and spec 2. I haven't been able to find the winter deacon with hatred, so this build is going to be stronger once I can finally find that. I don't know when that'll be. Maybe a week, maybe a month. Maybe I'll be re-rolling. Who knows? Mercenaries are notorious for being pretty hard to find. But yeah, some other key differences. No mage blood. I'll go over this stuff in the item section. But yeah, no mage blood. Megalomaniacs with primordial bond. Actually, yeah, I did show you how to find these ones. And I'll do that right now. You could also just plug in the Megalomaniac to the POB, but there is a trick to doing it on the trade site. Alright, I got the trade site pulled up here with Megalomaniacs with Primordial Bond. So you're going to look at this bottom section here. It has the 3 nodes. The middle node is always going to be in the back. So you want to make sure Primordial Bond is the top or the bottom node. For me, I'm just scrolling through them until I find one that's in the top or the bottom. I was able to buy mine for around 20 divines a piece. They do sell pretty quickly. Listed 3 minutes ago. Here's one. So yeah, that's how you do it. The build has an absolute ton of those, 7. So that's 140 divines if you buy them at a good price. It's still a lot less than Mage Blood, so I think the average price for Spec 3 is actually cheaper than Spec 2. We're wearing Headhunter, which is only like 10 to 20 divs. But yeah. Another piece of info, no elemental overload. This is because of Headhunter buffs and their synergy with crits. If you need more details on that, ask in a comment. And then, yeah, we're not stacking a ton of heralds or auras anymore. We're now just stacking a lot of golems. I'm running 12 golems on my guy. So the amount of damage and stats we're getting from these golems is so crazy. I brainstormed the Golemxodia before the league start, and I've been wanting to build it pretty much from the beginning, but the Megalomaniacs were so expensive I didn't get to it until now. But yeah, so I'll go over the tree, the items, and the skills quickly. We have 4 large clusters with Primordial Bond, 7 Megalomaniacs with Primordial Bond, Enduring Composure, Megalomaniac, and one other decent node. Mine has Spell Leech on it, so I don't have to get it here. Elemental Damage Leech would be better, actually, because if you can find it, because of the explodes do most of our damage, but not necessary, really. Other changes, I'm not going to go into details, but there's the tree. If you have questions, comments, leave one. For items, we got our Golem helmet. This is super important. It's a huge amount of damage, 33%. You see there, and a lot of other stuff. It's kind of crazy. We have, this is the centerpiece of the build, Explode Chestplate. This is where most of our damage is coming from. I just tried to get one with Energy Shield and Explode. Nothing else really matters on there. It's corrupted. The only reason it's corrupted is because I don't know why. Someone sold it for cheap. The gloves, they don't have Pierce on it anymore. They have Ignite Spread and Fire Exposure. I have Pierce over here. I don't think you really need Pierce though, because you really just have to kill a few mobs and then the explodes will chain everywhere. So yeah, don't worry about Pierce. Boots, Amulet, the same. Polaric Devastation for our covering in Ash in the left slot, important. Headhunter, great for juiced content. Flasks, got like every unique flask under the sun. Running Orath's End, Taste of Hate, Bottle of Faith, Cinder Swallow Urn, Not Series Promise. Strongest flasks are probably Orath's End and Not Series Promise. I'm still experimenting with flasks, but that's what I got right now. The only jewel I didn't go over was Rational Doctrine. This is a flex slot, but Lingering, Consecrated Ground, and Profane Ground is kind of nice, so I'm keeping that for now. Skills, yeah, we got rid of a ton of auras. There's all of our auras we're running. Eventually we want to switch Hatred out for like Malevolence or Purity of Elements when we can find the Winter Deacon. Now we're running all the golems. We got Stone Golem Hordes. This gives you 4 extra golems, so you get, it's pretty much just for a damage multiplier. They don't really give anything else. Running Stone, Flame, Lightning, and Chaos. Not running the Ice Golem because we don't really need crit for anything. That we also have a Stone Golem of Safeguarding. This one, it sounds super useful. I'm not really sure if or how it feels without it. It takes melee damage from their life before yours. So I think it's really strong, but it's hard to tell like when it's working and when it's not. Because you have to be, I don't even know, you have to be like right next to the mob and they have to actually be using melee attacks. I think against Kosis, like Simulacrum, it's pretty strong against the bosses, but other content, debatable. I'm running it though. So, and a lot of other people are too. No. But yeah, that's all for the golems. We're running Herald of Ash and Purity for our heralds. These scale our explodes very nicely. And yeah, here's the links for ethereal knives. I'm kind of messing with these still. Mostly I just want like on hit with a little bit of ignite damage. Most of our damage is just the explodes. So I'm just trying to kill some mobs, like a few mobs here, and then everything else will do the work. But yeah, that's about all for the POB. If you have any questions or comments, please leave one. I usually put this section at the end of my video, so I'm going to assume this is the end. Thanks for watching the whole thing, and hopefully you enjoy the build and the progression of the builds, all the specs if you've been going through it. I think this will be not the last one, but I want to do the like min-maxed version with Winter Deacon, but this might be the last one until I can get the gear for that, like find some better upgrades and then find the mercenary. So it might be a while before the next video on ethereal knives. This should hold a lot of people over though for a while. If it's taken too long to find the stuff, I might just do a spec 4 POB only version. Since you've kind of already seen the gameplay and what you need to see, but yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Anyways, rambling. Thanks for watching as always. Leave a like, a subscribe if you enjoyed this stuff or if it helped you out. And we'll see you for the next video.